opportunity of life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Jay Moore, the healthy accountant, helping to account for your life. Guys, 5 mistakes kingdom entrepreneurs are making in 2023. Yep, this year. And I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to me just like you because I'm a kingdom entrepreneur. And as a kingdom entrepreneur, the reason why I know these things is because I've probably done one or at least one of the lists that I'm going to share with you today. So you want to make sure you stick around to the end because these 5, if you're a kingdom entrepreneur, you want to make sure you write them down. You want to make sure that you look at them. You want to make sure you say to yourself, am I doing these things? And if you are in 2023, today is the last day. All right. So let's jump right in. Today's my Thursday, and maybe it's because it's Thursday and purpose is the theme of my day. I start off thinking about purpose from the time that I wake up because when at 8:28 every Thursday, I go live on Instagram with purpose at 8:28. And so as I deliver today's purpose message, situations that make purpose possible, I was drawn into a story and I'm going to share a quick part of the story just so we can set some things up here. I was drawn into a story about loss, a story about death, a story about how purpose can shape and make somebody's life, literally. But I was also drawn to the part of the story where we get to see firsthand how the Father, our Father God, can and will show you that He's done more. He's done more for us in the form of loss. And so the story that I'll share with you is the story about, someone who lost their son, and he had to watch his son pass away. Son passes away, but he couldn't do anything. And then what he had to then realize is that God had to watch his own son, right? Had to watch his own son pass away, but God could have stopped it, but he didn't. Why didn't he stop it? He didn't stop it because there was a purpose behind it. Something had to be fulfilled. And so today, let's think about this. What has to be fulfilled in your business, right? If you have a business, what has to be fulfilled? There's a fulfillment on that business. There's something that has to come out of this business. And a lot of times what's coming out of the business is it may not be what we think it is. Like, oh, I'm in the accounting business. But here's the thing, something more special has to come out of this business. So one of the first things I want to share with you today that kingdom entrepreneurs have been doing this year in 2023, number one, is they overthink the situation that they're in. They're overthinking what it is that we have to do. See, what are we overthinking? Okay, if I'm in this business, just be in the business. Kill it. Go for it. Don't sit around and say to yourself, oh, should I do it this way? Should I do it that? Just do it a way, right? Just find a way to do the thing that you have to do and just go and do it. I'm talking to myself, guys, so I'm not talking at you, just so you know that. Overthinking the situation that we're in is causing a major problem in our businesses right now. And so it's half of the year is already gone. Is anybody like, are you killing it? So I say to myself, man, I'm not where I need to be. So I must have overthought what it is that I had to do in my business or in my life. Number one, overthinking. Number two, this is a huge one, too ministry minded. Look, kingdom entrepreneurs, yes, everybody needs Jesus. Everybody needs that. And yes, we should give that. If you have a business, here's the thing, your business will be the proof of the witness. Come on now, think about it. The more successful I become a better witness for the kingdom, which means that My business is my ministry. So I'm finding a lot of kingdom entrepreneurs, we get focused on, well, let me go to do the ministry stuff. Oh, well, you can go do the ministry stuff. That's fine. But your business is the ministry. That's number two. Number three, a lot of times we're not focused on the real problems. We're not focused on the real what are the real problems that your potential customer is having. Get focused, guys. I'm coming back from the gym. And as I'm coming back to the gym, just thinking, I'm thinking, and I'm talking to God. I'm like, okay, like, come on, like what, like, come on, like, what's going on here? Like, what do we have to do? Like, because I'm like, what do we have to do? Because and he'll send it back to you. He'll say, well, what do you have to do? He says, I'll do my part, is what God said, but what do you have to do? So get focused is what he's telling. He's telling me. So I'm coming home and I'm thinking, he says, look, man, you got to get so focused that nothing will stop you. And then God can do far more than you can ask or imagine through the power that worketh in you and me. So he's saying, I'll go further, but you got to go. So not focus on the real problems. Number 4, this is the big one. I've made them. I'm not sure about you, but I made excuses of what? Well, we didn't do it this month because, we didn't do it this year because, there was this thing that happened and so this because, making excuses for coming up short. I heard Jim Rohn talk about this, and Jim Rohn, if you don't know who he is, you should know. He's a follower of personal development. Everybody has learned from him. And so Jim Rohn shared a story about how he was at his home, and there's a knock at the door, and it's a little girl. She's with the Girl Scouts, and she says, hey, sir, we've got our Girl Scout cookies, and and she's selling her cookies. Everybody loves the cookies, right? And he says, well, he was broke. He didn't have any money. And he's a grown man. And the Girl Scout was like, hey, would you like to buy some cookies? And he had to lie. He says, I already bought. I bought from the others, knowing that he just didn't have any money. And so he closed the door. Now she would say, well, thank you for purchasing. She's thinking that he supported. And he's saying to himself, man, I have made too many excuses in my life. I couldn't even buy Girl Scout cookies. This is Jim Rohn. And he said from that day, he says that would never happen to him. Man, it brings tears to my eyes thinking about that. Because I don't know about you, but I've made a lot of excuses in my life. I probably made one yesterday as to why, I hadn't produced enough. So making excuses is big. That's number 4. Number 5. This is a big one. Looking at problems, finding more problems, but not solving the problem. Say that one more time. This is number 5. Looking at problems, finding more problems, but not solving the problem. What is the problem? Kingdom entrepreneurs. You started a business. Why did you start it? You started to solve a problem. How will we focus? Remember, we got to be focused on the problem. But if we're just looking at the problem and then we keep finding more problems inside the problem, but never solving the problem, then it's just going to be like yesterday. If you missed yesterday's podcast, is how to get out of a negative feedback loop. In essence, that's what's happening here, is that a person is on a cycle of going over and over. Look at the problem. Oh my goodness, there's more problems. Oh my goodness. And never solving the problem. Guys, these are mistakes that are happening right now in 2023. Right now. Hey, good morning, Deanna. They're happening right now. Overthinking, number 1. Too ministry minded, number 2. Not focused on the real problem, number 3. Number 4 is making excuses. And number 5, looking at problems, finding more problems, but not solving the problem. So how does a kingdom entrepreneur solve the problems and not make the mistakes going forward in 2023? Here's a better question for you to ask today. Don't ask how, ask who. Say, who? You can say, who do I know? You could even say, who do I need to become? I used to say that all the time, but that may take long. So, who do I need to come in contact with to help me solve this problem? That's a different take, right? Because as kingdom entrepreneurs, bootstrap it all and do it all yourself. Solopreneur, freelance your way all the way to being whatever. And the thing is, we have to find a who, who can already do the how, because you can't do it all. Here's what you can do as a kingdom entrepreneur. If you have a vision, if you have a why, if you have a mission, and if you know where you're going, then you share it with that. You share it with the who. You say, hey, Mr. Who, Mrs. Who, I'm going here. And this is why I'm going. This is the mission of what I'm going to do. And it looks like you have this particular skill. Can you do it for me? That is the question that's going to help all kingdom entrepreneurs move from making the mistakes to not just being successful. Look, being successful is, listen, being successful, you want to know what that is? Being successful is fulfilling the purpose that God has placed in you. And when you fulfill the purpose that God has placed in you, you will be successful. That's in Joshua 1:8. It says, keep the book, the law in your mouth, meditate on it day and night. Be careful to do exactly what it says, and you will make your way prosperity, and have good success. This is what God told Joshua. So if God told Joshua, then that's a clue to being successful as a kingdom entrepreneur. So that is what I believe is the kingdom success formula if we're going to be successful in 2023 and beyond. So if you're a kingdom entrepreneur, I just gave you 5 mistakes. I'm sure there's plenty more, guys, but I just gave you 5 mistakes that kingdom entrepreneurs are making in 2023. Go make sure you have the list. Overthinking, too ministry minded, not focused on real problems, making excuses, and looking at problems, finding problems, but not solving the problem. Take those mistakes, let them digest, and then spit them out. Say, those won't happen in my business ever again. So guys, that's the message for today. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, man, check us out on The Healthy Accountant at YouTube. We're looking to get to 200 subscribers. I think we're about 145 or 150, something like that. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, if you're not following us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram at The Healthy Accountant. And we're on Facebook, official, Healthy Accountant. And so, guys, we appreciate you. We love you. And we'll see you back here tomorrow for episode 800 tomorrow. Episode 800 is going to be epic. So you don't want to miss tomorrow. God bless you. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.